When you know when your soul is speaking and you follow that voice, it's magic. It's not magic, but it feels like magic because we're taught to do it different ways, that feels like magic, and it feels kind of like wrong or too esoteric or too woo-woo. And it's like, no, that's just actually how the world works when you're aligned with who you really are. This is Liberated. I'm your host, Laura Christine. You know what we need more than anything in this world? We need examples. We need role models. We need to see that what we desire is possible. I want to be free. I want to be free to be who I am completely. I want to be able to go where I am told by my soul, not by society. I've done this. And when I was getting divorced my second time, I noticed a pattern. Other women were staying in relationships that were just not fitting for them. And they weren't trusting their inner knowing because we're taught not to. We're socialized to look outside ourselves for all of our answers and to see how we need to act and behave so we can be taken care of, but that's not true. The truth is, you can trust yourself and you're the only one you can trust. I'm sharing my experience of setting myself free. I am sharing my journal and I'm sharing the wisdom that's come through these lessons. Now, I do follow my soul. It's really different and sometimes scary, but I know when I know, and I go where I go. I'm free. I know you can be too. This is your invitation to stick around and participate in this podcast and join my VIP club. Once again, I'm Elsie, and I would love for you to be free with me. Hello again. Thank you for being here. I am really excited to share a little bit of an update on my journey and how I got here. I'm in Minnesota recording probably the next few episodes. I got here after Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, a little bit of an unfortunate stop in Kansas, and now I'm in Minnesota. So it's been really fun, but I'm going to set up how my year is taking shape because of what happened in February. This is what I wrote about Shingletown. Oh my God, Shingletown. You guys, this is magic. This is magic, you'll hear. Shingletown is about 1,000 people, maybe. It doesn't have a grocery store. So you can get the idea that it's a tiny little mountain town in California. Aren't all days magical? Like, really though. All days are magical. But this one in particular. My friend Sean and I went to Shingletown, and basically everything was closed. We went up there because her dog needed medication or something, and that's where their vet is. But we went into Shingletown, and it was a Tuesday, and apparently in tiny towns in the mountains in California, things are not open on Tuesdays. We walked around anyway, the street a little bit, and tucked behind some closed shops, we saw an open door, and the sign in front said Bella Salon and Spa. So we're like, dude, we got to check that out. We did. We walk to the door, and in is this most incredible man. He looks like he could be Santa Claus, but younger. Big white beard, curly, long hair, big guy, wearing tie-dye and overalls. I mean, seriously, out of some kind of a myth book or mythological story. His studio had crystals all over, and it just had the best energy. It felt so light and free, like I like to be. And there was one of those spinny barbershop things out in the front. So Sean asked, "Are you a barber?" And he said, "No, but I cut hair." There was absolutely no way in heaven, hell, the world, whatever, the universe, I could have prevented myself from saying this next thing. Could you cut mine? Okay, so story goes, I'm on Oahu. I'm getting ready to leave. There's a lot to do when you're leaving an island for an indefinite period of time. I had a haircut scheduled, but I liked the length of my hair at the time, so I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to not get my hair cut and I'll find a haircut wherever I go. Didn't expect it to be this. I didn't expect it to be Troy in Shingletown, but as it turns out, there you have it. My soul always knows where to go and what to say, and when I follow it, magic happens. And you know what? Same thing for everyone. When you know when your soul is speaking and you follow that voice, it's magic. It's not magic, but it feels like magic because we're taught to do it different ways, that feels like magic, and it feels kind of like wrong or too esoteric or too woo-woo. And it's like, no, that's just actually how the world works when you're aligned with who you really are. Anyway, so that's what I do. And he said, yes. And I said, today? He's like, no, I have someone coming in right now, but we can do it on Thursday. So Shingletown's about 15, 20 minutes from where I was with Sean and her wife. So we set up a time on Thursday. I go on Thursday. This is the 10th now. This is what I wrote in my journal on February 10th, 2022. There are times when I forget that everything is always working out for me. I'll hear about someone else's good and feel envious or unworthy or something, or like, why them and not me? You know how that is. I'm sure you felt that way, or not, maybe not. But anyway, it is ridiculous. And that's when it's time to come home. That's when it's time to get back in your body, bring your energy back, pull yourself home. If you're a woman, breathe in your pussy. Get home and be in your own essence, because you're never lacking. So you're not going to be envious. You're just going to be, what is the word, Freudenfreude? It's like happy because of someone else is happy. It's the most beautiful thing. Probably said that wrong because it's German and I don't know German, but it's something like that. So I get there on Thursday afternoon, 2 p.m. Yes, I do remember. It feels great. Haircut's great. But obviously, this day was not about the haircut. Come on. Definitely not about the haircut. He told me about his marriage and how that's on the, fritz. And he told me about this shamanic journey that he led for some other people. And he said, you're the second person I've ever told that full story to. Usually, I think the roles are reversed when you go get your hair cut. And usually the person in the chair is telling all the things. That happens with me. But also this happens with me. And I think it's because I'm so present in my own self that people feel very safe to open up with me because they know I'm not trying to get anything from them. And they know that I'm so full in my own self that I will be able to basically hold space for someone to just be themselves as well. Kind of felt like that, but here's the cool part. He did ask me too. He asked me about what I do, so I told him I do life coaching and I work for a small nonprofit, blah, blah, Kundalini, yoga. And then he's just like, I've been telling my husband he really would love Kundalini yoga and should try it. They hadn't found a teacher. So instead of paying this man for my haircut with money, I paid him with a promise that I would come to their house, get fed lunch, and teach a Kundalini yoga class for him and his husband. Not only did I get the haircut, I also got the $40 product that I was going to buy. So that was kind of cool. That all happened. Lunch was wonderful. The day was amazing. I wish you could see their home. Wow, magical. It's like a little fairy garden, only it's big. And the whole house is like a fairy garden, not just the outside. And then I met Lois and her nephew, and that was awesome. Lois plays a very integral part in my story. Very integral. She's friends with Sean and Katie, my hosts. And randomly, after we had played games and eaten tacos, Sean goes, "Hey, Lois, do you like LC?" And I just laugh and I'm like, "Oh my God, why don't you just put her on the spot? She might not." Right? And Lois was so kind. She's like, yeah, LC seems cool. Because basically she needs your internet next weekend. She needs your house. Can she stay at your house next weekend and use your internet? And Lois is like, yeah, sure. I mean, I'm not going to be there, but go for it. Everything is always working out for me. Really ground that in. Take that phrase and make it your go-to everyday mantra. Everything is always working out for me. Say it again and again and again, and don't just say it. Don't just say it. Get in the energy of it. Know the energy of it. Feel the energy of it. Be the energy of it. Everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. Can you just imagine that when all the things seem like they're not working out for you, like your car breaks down twice when you're trying to get across the country, which I'll get to later. That's the unfortunate stop in Kansas, by the way. One of the unfortunate stops. It still is working out for you. It still is working out for me. Everything. Imagine living life, having that knowing. It's absolutely freeing. Now I'm going to do something quickly that is going to lead you into joining Club LC. And the reason I want you to join Club LC is because it's not about me. The podcast is about me and my story. However, when you listen, I really hope that it does inspire you to get home in your own self and feel who you truly are, so that when you make decisions, you are basing them on what you feel like. Because the decisions that feel most like you are going to bring more of what feels good to you in a magic way, or a seemingly magic way. The next time I wrote was Valentine's Day. And here's what I wrote. I have never been lonely. I've never had a desire to have a boyfriend, but I have desired certain people to share life with. I love life so much. Now, for the first time, I am open to meeting someone. As such, perhaps I won't. I mean, really? Isn't that how it happens? Like, oh, I want to meet someone. Like, I guess I'm open to meeting somebody. Anyways, whatever. And then I said, that is well enough. No need. I'm not lonely. I'm alone. I'm not lonely. I really want you to hear what happened the next day. That's in the VIP club. That is in Club LC. I'm recording it right after this. It's going to be dropped in there right when this episode is dropped. It's almost insane. Club LC is about your story. Club LC is about you coming home to yourself so that you can be free. All I want is for your life to reflect the truth of who you are. Because when it does, you don't work at manifesting anymore. You feel comfortable in your own body and in your own skin, and you know that the decisions that you're making are the right ones for you all the time, whether it's yes or no, no matter what your mind is trying to tell you, because your mind's going to muck it up all the time, but your body will always say yes. So when you're home there, home forms around you. So join Club LC, because that's what we're doing in there. You get daily little pings from me. Nearly daily. Okay, I'm not perfect. No one is, and we can't be. But you get nearly daily pings from me, little messages, little reminders. And what I have found is that those who take a moment to check in with those are really taking a moment to check in with themselves and notice, am I home? The beautiful thing about that is that when you take time to notice if you're home or not, if you are, great, you feel amazing. And then you recognize all the magic around you. If you're not, that's awesome, because you know it and you can pull yourself back in. And then notice the magic around you when you do that. I can't wait to see you there. It's a lot of fun. We have great connections. So if you feel like you have trouble being safe and secure in your own self and your own body and in your own opinions and your own desires, Club LC is where you're meant to be. Go to laurachristine.us and it is right in the middle. LauraChristine.US. And yes, that is where I get my nickname, LC. Until next time, in love and liberation, LC.